historian locates both Ivar and Trump's grandfather in Pioneer Square. A Seattle historian holds forth. The original name for Seattle's revered Pioneer Square was Pioneer Place, and Skid Road, the vaunted sobriquet for Yesler Way, is an entire misnomer. As far as I can tell, not one log was ever skidded down any street in Seattle, he says. It blows people's minds when I tell them that. I don't know if Seattle's ready to hear that. The historian, Michael Ostrogorsky, relishes debunking published and oft-repeated legends. He leads tours of his favorite district, Pioneer Square, for which he just self-published a guidebook. The 208-page volume bursts with 140 photos and maps. Its conversational text reveals startling details. Case in point, our main then photo from 1956, which looks west along South Washington Street as it intersects with Occidental Avenue South. Bold capitals indicate an Ivar Hageland Cafe 2 blocks east of the waterfront and 5 blocks south of Pier 54, where the restaurateur-promoter opened an aquarium in 1938 and in 1946 expanded it to his enduring and renowned Acres of Clams restaurant. His lesser-known inland Ivars, depicted here and dubbed Chowder Corner, began in late 1955, lasting just 4 years under his helm. Today, it's Baba Yaga, a rock club. Equally surprising, 1/2 block east, on the right in the photo, is the Lucky Tavern. At that storefront in 1891, an eatery called the Poodle Dog was purchased, renamed, and operated for 2 years as the Dairy by none other than Fred Trump, paternal grandfather of our current president. Ostrogorsky asserts that a 2000 biography, The Trumps, 3 Generations That Built an Empire by Gwenda Blair, simplistically paints Fred Trump's The Dairy restaurant as a den of iniquity and Fred Trump as a pimp and criminal. But he adds, there is simply no historical evidence of any criming that occurred in association with Fred Trump at the Dairy or at another restaurant he owned in 1897 at 2nd Avenue and Cherry Street. The Dairy Lucky Tavern building became a parking lot in 1969. When Fred Trump ran the Dairy, he lived in a hotel above the storefront that became Ivar's Chowder Corner. That building's upper 3 floors fell victim to the Seattle earthquake of 1949. Such particulars animate Ostrogorsky. We live in a fact-free world where people get to choose the reality that they want to experience, he says. As a historian, I'm here to say the facts matter. Even if people choose not to believe it, there are still facts out there, things that happen. It is the job of us historians to present those facts, however many heads may explode in the process. In our first then photo, in 1956, Ivar Hageland's Inland Eatery anchors the corner of South Washington Street and Occidental South. In 1891 to 1893, on an upper floor lost in a 1949 earthquake, lived Fred Trump, paternal grandfather of today's president, Donald Trump. The elder Trump operated the Dairy restaurant at the site of the Lucky Tavern, shown at right. In our second then photo, an undated portrait of Fred Trump, 1869 to 1918, whose family's original German surname was Drumpf, D-R-U-M-P-F, also spelled as Trumpf, T-R-U-M-P-F, or Drumpft, D-R-U-M-P-F-T. In 1891 to 93, the paternal grandfather of today's president lived on South Washington Street in Pioneer Square. He later joined the Klondike Gold Rush. In our third then photo, circa 1975, this is the earliest known photo looking up Mill Street, Yesler Way today, from Commercial Street, 1st Avenue South. Books and other accounts cite Mill as Seattle's Skid Road, a claim challenged by Pioneer Square historian and tour guide Michael Ostrogorsky. Today, at the same vantage as our 1956 then, historian Michael Ostrogorsky holds his new book, Seattle Pioneer Square History Walk, Zitzalalish Little Crossing Over Place. The parking lot where Fred Trump's restaurant, The Dairy, stood in 1891 to 93 is out of frame at right. On July 25th, Ostrogorsky plans an Alliance for Pioneer Square-sponsored History Walk, followed by a signing event at Arundel Books. For more info, visit his Substack, Beach Ramblings. Also today, steel I-beams visible on the James Street side of the Pioneer Building were placed between new structures after the 1889 Great Seattle Fire. The photographer, Michael Ostrogorsky of West Seattle, secured a dual doctorate in the history of the American West and historical archaeology from the University of Idaho.